Good day everyone, in this video we will talk about the roles in Mobile Legends. So let's start. First on our list is tank. Tanks are the frontliner of the team, as they have the enough durability to absorb damage. Also tanks are the initiator and setter due to their skills. Lastly, they are considerably the zoner of the team for his team to get objective. Tanks are the frontliner of the team as they have the durability to last long in a team fight. In other words, tanks gets the most damage in a game. Tanks are also the initiator of the team as tanks acquired enough crowd control skills to gather all enemies at once. Tanks are also zoner, which means one job of the tanks are to zone out or to scare enemies away, for his team to get enough time to finish objectives. Must do when playing as a tank, you should help and protect your marksman or your team's carry for them to easily farm and dominate the game. Also tanks should always the first to enter the team fight, as what said a while ago, tanks are team fight initiator. Lastly, tanks should always pay attention to the mini-map to predict the enemy's movement. Always keep in mind that a good tank could always change the flow of the game. Next on our list is fighter. Fighters are offlaner, semi-tank, and also consider his initiator and setter of a team. Fighters are often an offlaner and a good tower pusher, as most of them have durability to last long on a team fight, and have mobility skills to escape. Fighters also considered as semi-tank and a good initiator due to their durability and skills that could initiate a team fight. Must do when you're playing as a fighter. Fighters should prioritize pushing turrets as most of them have a mobility skill to escape. Fighters should also roam or visit other lane after taking down the first tower on his lane so that he could help his teammates on the other lane and gain advantage. After roaming to other lane, go back to your lane immediately and start pushing again. And lastly, fighters should always pay close attention to the mini-map, as fighter role is an offlaner. They're always in a lane alone, so they're much likely to get gank. So always look on the mini-map so that you could have an idea about what's happening on your surroundings. Next on our list is assassin. Assassins acquired burst damage to easily shut down enemies in second. Also, they are considered as kill finisher as they have a lot of mobility skill to chase any escaping enemies. Lastly, they are best ganker among all roles. Assassin's main role is to execute the marksman and or the carry of the enemy's team, as they have burst damage and a good mobility skill. And also to finish the killing of those escaping enemies after a team fight. Must do when playing as an assassin. After reaching level 4, assassins should start ganking, as they already open their ultimate skill to easily gank other lanes. However, some assassins don't need to reach level 4 to gank, just like Natalia, as she has strong early game potential because of her passive. Also, Selena don't need to reach level 4 as she have a burst damage throughout her passive without even reaching level 4. When on a team fight, assassins should wait for the right timing to enter. Right timing is when all of the enemies use their crowd control skills. Lastly, assassins should always prioritize marksman of the carry of the enemy's team. Next on our list is mage. Mages have burst damage. Due to it, they sometimes consider his semi-assassin, as they can also kill enemies carry and escaping at the same time. Also, most of the mages have a good amount of crowd control skill that made them a semi-support too. Mage is the role that should always be present in a team fight, as they have high damage, which is really necessary in a team fight. Must do when playing as a mage. Mages should always participate team fight as they have a strong early to mid-game potential. When mages reach level 4, your team must start ganking other lanes. Lastly, don't be scared in a team fight, cause mages are powerful in early game, and could also burst out enemies until late game. Next on our list is support. Support's skills focuses on healing and team buff. Because of that, they are the healer and savior of the team. Support is a role that should always present in a team fight, as most of them have healing skills that is necessary in a team fight. Supports could also be addressed as a team buff, not just because they have healing abilities, but also because most of their builds are buff build that could really help the whole team when they're in a team fight. Must do when playing as support. Supports should prioritize helping their teammates due to their healing and anti-crowd control capabilities. Also, support should always present in a team fight as they're the team's buff. Having support in a team might put your team in advantage. Lastly, supports should adjust their builds in accordance to the enemies. Hence, supports should know the basic of countering and recountering builds. Last on our list is marksmen. Marksmen have a really poor early game potential, but they are the monsters in late game. Also, they are the DPS and the carry of the team. Marksmen are too weak in the early phase of the game, so they should prioritize farming and stick with a tank or support, so that they could farm fast and avoid getting gank. Marksmen are really squishies, because of that they're prone on being gank. Also, most of the time marksmen are the one always hunt down by the assassin or even mage, as they're too easy to burst out. Must do when playing as a marksman. Marksmen should always stick with a tank and support to farm fast and avoid getting gank. Marksmen must always pay close attention to the mini-map to predict enemies' movement and to prevent getting gank. Lastly, marksmen should learn how to position wisely in a team fight. Keep in mind that even though marksmen have their core items, they're still easy to burst out. so proper positioning is a must.